We have our special guest with us because we're going to be talking about RT. He is a comedian, political satirist, friend of the show. He hosts the Government Secrets and Common Censored podcast and was until very recently the lead writer and host of Redacted Tonight with Lee Camp on RT America. Let's welcome Lee Camp. Hi, Lee. How are you?
Hey, Jimmy. Freshly unemployed and loving it.
Man, I feel for you, buddy. That's I was just telling you before we went on air, I thought once Trump became president, we would get ourselves past all this stuff, but apparently not. Apparently they're just too convenient of a target. So let me just do the story really quick. Russia state-run news outlet RT America is shutting down and laying off staff, report says. Okay. Now, it's funny, guys. Russia didn't shut us down when we invaded Iraq. Or Russia didn't shut us down when we illegally invaded Libya, turned it into a failed state. Russia didn't shut PBS down when, right? I mean, it's just when we're occupying Syria right now. Who's shutting down PBS? And nobody. All right, so the American branch of Russia's state-run media outlet RT is shutting down and laying off most of its staff. CNN reported on Thursday RT America will be ceasing production at all locations because of unforeseen business interruption events, according to a memo obtained by CNN. Unfortunately, we anticipate this layoff will be permanent, meaning that this will result in the permanent separation from employment of most TNR employees at all locations, the memo said. It was previously announced that social media access for RT and state-run news site Sputnik would be largely shut down in the EU. The state-owned Russia Today and Sputnik and their subsidiaries will no longer be able to spread their lies to justify Putin's war, European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen said on Sunday. The layoffs at RT America, which launched in 2010, come after satellite provider DirecTV announced it was dropping the network. The network also aired on the public airwaves in Washington, D.C. According to CNN, staff were informed of the layoffs at an all-hands meeting on Thursday. RT America has done, one laid-off employee posted on Twitter. In recent years, RT America hosted shows from the likes of former CNN personality Larry King and right-wing comedian Dennis Miller. Since 2017, it had received more than $104 million in funding from the Russian government, half that money coming in 2020. Really? It is not the end of RT as a brand. However, with English language content still being produced from an office in Moscow, as of Thursday evening, the channel was still streaming live on YouTube in the United States. So let's bring in Lee Camp. So Lee, what would you like to say about this situation?
I mean, it's disgusting censorship of the grandest kind. I mean, they didn't give us any reason as to why it shut down, but the fact that it happened so instantly, there was no like, hey, we're gonna, lay off a few people and we'll cut back to just news, or it was really like Wednesday, everything's fine, Thursday, everyone's gone kind of thing. Makes me think that it had to be somehow connected to the U.S. government or sanctions that made it just impossible for them to operate. And, this was one of the few, I know people want to believe that we were given talking points or, the Putin memo comes down from on high. But the reason I was there is I was never told what to say. I was never told what not to say. I was never censored. I wrote all my own stuff. It was a level of freedom on a television network that is truly unheard of. And Ben Swan, who's worked at CBS, NBC, Fox News, and RT, said by far RT is where he had the most freedom.
I filled in for Jesse Ventura, former governor and former Navy SEAL, and I was never told what to say when I was filling in for Jesse. But it's just, I can't get over the crazy amount of censorship that's happening. I can't get over that there's people actually cheering this on. Have you seen people happy about this, Lee?
Oh, my God. You look at the Liberati on Twitter, and they are thrilled, fucking thrilled that RT America, that how dare there be any dissenting voice? How dare there be an anti-war, anti-imperialist show on any of our airwaves? It truly is disgusting because the thing is, you don't have to agree with every word I say or any of them to realize that there should be this freedom of press, there should be freedom of speech. And instead, even journalists don't see that this is a threat to their job, to the idea of journalism. I mean, the fact that it's being celebrated is just truly revolting. And it was for me at least, it was cross-platform. The show obviously canceled from RT America. The Redacted Tonight YouTube videos the day before that were banned across Europe and the UK. And my personal podcast, Moment of Clarity, was deleted from Spotify. And all of that happened within 3 days.
Why would your personal podcast be deleted from Spotify? You're an American citizen, right?
Indeed, I am. Born and bred.
What? I don't understand. So why did they give you a reason at all?
No reason. It's just there's clearly discussions about time to cut off anybody who works at RT.
Wow. And this is happening as the United States is currently helping a genocide take place in Yemen, bombing Somalia, and occupying Syria illegally. And
the latest estimate on the number of deaths the U.S. has caused with our wars on terror over the past 20 years is 6 million. Like, mind-blowing number. 6 million dead, and yet they're not cutting off, CNN for promoting those wars, or Fox News, or MSNBC. Those are all great, funded by Raytheon, Lockheed Martin. Love them.
Yes, they love war. And believe me, they love this war. Brian Stelter's already tweeting out how their ratings are doing great because of it. He's all proud of it. He's actually talking about it. So
yeah, CNN lost 40% of their viewers the moment Trump left office. Now they've got them all back.
Yes, I think they lost more than that. But you're right. And so war it sells papers and it gets clicks, and especially when they're the ones. No one in the United States that I talk to knows that we overthrew the Ukraine government in 2014. and installed a hostile government to Putin, and then started funneling arms into Ukraine, and nobody knows any of that. Nobody.
To Nazis, to dudes with literal swastikas on their helmets. These aren't like top secret Nazis. These are Nazis.
These are real these aren't secret Nazis. But they say, oh no, the president of Ukraine is Jewish, so how could there be Nazis anywhere in Ukraine? Yeah,
I just had former UN Weapons Inspector Scott Ritter on my one remaining YouTube show, and he said that it basically, whether Zelensky wanted to or not, the government is accountable to these Nazis because they're far right and they are willing to kill.
That's right.
And any politician who stands up against them will be assassinated. So
they like killing. They in fact, I'm just quoting them. There was the leader of the C-16s. He was saying, we like killing. It's fun. And we're willing to do what the West won't. That's what he said. So
I think Mad Dog Mattis said the same thing once.
Aha! Hey, we got more dates for our 2022 stand-up tour. We're going everywhere. We're going to Dallas, Houston, Florida. We're going to Omaha, Des Moines, Pittsburgh, Columbus, Ohio, and Los Angeles. Go to jimmydorecomedy.com for a link for all the tickets for all our shows.